Today on Good Morning Maine, all the latest results from a busy election day.
Plus, a Bangor man has been arrested for the 12th time this year following a bust at a local store.
And tensions rise on Capitol Hill as lawmakers vote to censure one of their own. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us on this day after the election. Coming up, we'll have all the latest election results on all the questions Mainers were asked to answer, along with some of the local races. There are a lot of city council, town council races up for grabs, but we'll have those coming up in just a few moments.
Yeah, seems like surprisingly good turnout for not a gubernatorial or a presidential election. Still, a lot of people showed up to vote. But hey, in the meantime, let's check in with that forecast with WFVX.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Wednesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Comfort Shoes. Need the proper fit for your new winter footwear? Visit us across from Irving in Newport. Alright, let's get into things this morning. And again, we have some advisories posted. A wind advisory posted across the northern parts of the state lasting until about 5 p.m. this evening. The gale warning has also been extended until 7 p.m. this evening as well. So winds continue to howl and make the ocean very active in some spots. There's a few areas also under a small craft advisory that will also expire at around 7 o'clock or so later on tonight. So let's take a look at the radar here. So a lot of the precipitation has backed off. There's a few flurries possibly on the eastern edge of Maine, possibly outside of the country as well. We'll continue to see this pushing out of here. We'll stay dry today though, although the winds will continue to howl from time to time. That'll be the big story though, with this area low pressure located right about in here that continues to track off towards the east, and it's a strong one bringing that wind in across the region. So futurecast for today, a partly cloudy sky will be common from time to time. We'll catch a little bit of a break from the clouds though until about Thursday morning before more clouds start to approach from the west ahead of our next system. But of course, winds will be out of the northwest at times today, reaching up to 15 to 20 miles per hour sustained. Gusts up to 40 miles per hour are possible, but notice later on today, and especially in the parts of tomorrow though, the winds will really begin to relax. So your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, a mixture of clouds and sunshine, temperatures in the 30s and 40s. Also windy out there. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Devin. It is post-election day, and we have plenty of local and statewide results for you. We have a lot to get to, including 4 statewide referendum questions and 4 proposed amendments to Maine's Constitution.
Let's get right to it, beginning with question 1. It asks, do you want to bar some quasi-governmental entities and all consumer-owned electric utilities from taking on more than $1 billion in debt unless they get statewide voter approval? In the end, that one ended up passing yesterday. That was really crafted in response to another bill where they wanted to create the new Pine Tree Power Company to replace CMP and Versant. They were worried that doing so would cause the state to go into too much debt. I believe they needed to raise more than $12 billion to make that happen. And this would have prevented them from going into debt too much. We'll tell you about how the other question resulted in just a few moments.
Yeah, we got to skip.
Yeah,
of course,
they were kind of out of order.
Yeah.
Question 1 did pass though, so that is on the books, regardless of whether that other one passed or not.
Yep. All right. Moving on now to question 2, asking, do you want to ban foreign governments and entities that they own, control, or influence from making a campaign contribution or financing communications for or against candidates or ballot questions? This one passed with quite a few votes. Look at that. Over 240,000 people voted yes to ban foreign government and entity influence, and no, there were over 37,000 votes. So quite the lead.
When I first heard this one, I'm thinking Russia. They want to keep Russia and China or whoever from getting involved. But really, this had to do with Canada back when CMP wanted to put that big transmission line down through Maine. Hydro-Quebec standed to make some money off that deal, billions of dollars. So they put an awful lot of money into the campaign against it. And in the end, it was defeated. This would prevent in the future from anybody, whether they're Canadian or whoever.
Right. And Hydro-Quebec is, of course, who Quebecians get their electric power from.
Right.
So.
And they stood to make some money on it. So it made sense that they wanted to put some money towards that campaign. They won't be able to do that in the future.
Yep. All right, moving on to question 3. Do you want to create a new power company? This is that one that we were talking about earlier that question 1 was related to. Do you want to create a new power company governed by an elected board to acquire and operate existing for-profit electricity transmission and distribution facilities in Maine? And voters voted no, with almost double the amount of yeses voted no, with over 197,000 voting no to keep CMP and Versant as our main electric providers.
Moving on now, ballot question number 4 asks, do you want to require vehicle manufacturers to standardize onboard diagnostic systems and provide remote access to those systems and mechanical data to owners and independent repair facilities? This one ended up passing as well. Which will be good news for people that want to bring their cars to the local mechanic in their town. They will be able to get access to that information. There is some concern from the automobile manufacturers that having all that information out there, like on things like anti-theft devices and things like that, that it's going to get out into the public so hackers can get in there easily, and so they're going to have to figure out how to do that. The vehicle manufacturers haven't really been opposed to sharing that information. There's a movement underway, but they want to do it wisely. This will create some kind of a board, an overseer here in Maine, to make sure that this is being carried out. How that happens, we don't know yet.
Yeah, otherwise people would have had to go to the dealership for any work that they would have had to do.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And one of the largest margins of victory on this year's ballot was on that question 4, with over 80, with a large margin. On 4's watch party coming to a close relatively early that night. Sorry, that didn't really make sense, but there were a lot of people at their watch party. One of the most prominent spokespeople for Yes on 4's campaign was President and CEO of VIP Tires and Service, Tim Winkler, who spoke with our Doug Banks once it became clear that the right to repair got the vote.
How does it feel that so many Mainers resonated with voting yes for question 4?
You know, it's very gratifying when you put this much time and effort into something that you feel passionately about. It's always reassuring to know that the people of the state of Maine agreed with us and so overwhelmingly passed question 4.
And like we said earlier, Mainers voted no on question 3, deciding that they did not want to establish a new publicly owned utility, which would have meant that the takeover of CMP and Versant. Our reporters were at the gatherings for those opposed to the creation of the Pine Tree Power Company, as it became clear that their side had emerged victorious last night.
We're just really excited tonight. You know, Mainers have spoken. They worked hard. They did their homework. They spoke with their neighbors. And at the end of the day, question 3 went down by an overwhelming majority, and that's because Mainers knew that this was not the proposal that they were looking for. It was a $13.5 billion debt that they didn't want to take on because it was a bad idea for Maine.
Now looking at the results for the proposed constitutional amendments. Question 5, it changes the time period for judicial review of the validity of written petitions from within 100 days from the date of filing to within 100 business days. So this is just kind of one of those helpful things for the Office of the Secretary of State. This was to help election workers.
Yeah, give them a little more time to process all those votes. Yep. Question 6 restores parts of the Maine Constitution that were taken out of printed copies, including treaty obligations to the tribes. That one also passed. A little history there. I think it was back in the mid part of the 1800s, where the Maine legislature decided to omit certain clauses of the Constitution. Nobody really knows why. Scholars have gone back and tried to figure out why they did it, and they come up with some theories, but they don't know why. But some of those clauses included some provisions that were made when Maine separated from Massachusetts. There were some agreements in place with Maine's Native American tribes, and even though those have remained on the books all these years, for some reason they were not in the printed copies. From here on, though, they will be in the printed copies, which of course is important to the Native American tribes. They want it to be on the books for everybody to see.
Seems like some accountability and transparency for the government.
Yeah.
All right, question 7 requires a circulator or signature gatherers of a citizens' initiative or people's veto petition to be a resident of Maine and a registered voter in Maine. So this means people who can bring petitions that could go up to the voters. This was not passed, this was, voters said no, we don't want to require them to be Maine citizens or Maine voters. So anybody can now bring a petition to, or a citizens initiative petition to the election.
I wonder if that applies to other governments and foreign entities.
Good question.
So we'll have to look into that one.
Good question.
But, all right, question 8, removing a provision prohibiting a person under guardianship for reasons of mental illness from voting. That one also passed yesterday. just a little history on that one as well. A federal ruling some years ago shot down a law, said it was unconstitutional to keep people with certain mental illnesses from voting. Ever since that time, Maine has not enforced those rules. This just kind of cleans it up and makes it official that they will allow anybody with certain mental illnesses to cast their votes as well, because they know who they want to vote for as well.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. There were lots of competitive races at the local level, so let's take a look at some of those as well. Starting with the Bangor City Council race, there are 3 seats available. Each comes with a 3-year term. The only incumbent running for re-election was Joseph Leonard, who did in fact reclaim his seat with over 2,000 votes. And joining Leonard on the council are Carolyn Fish with over 3,000 votes and Susan Dean with over 2,000 as well.
Very competitive race there. It'll be interesting to see how these new members kind of work along with some of these younger, progressive Bangor City Councilors that have been put into office in recent years.
Yeah, some of the people who were elected, all 3, they have differing opinions.
Yeah, homelessness is a big part of why they were running. They want to try to figure out that situation.
Right.
Meanwhile, on to Bangor School Committee now, which had 3 seats available. Claiming those seats are Katie Bryden, who had more than 4,000 votes, Shelley O'Keefe with more than 3,000, and Timothy Charette claiming the most votes with 4,213 votes. Congratulations to them.
Now over to Brewer with the City Council. There is 1 open seat up for the taking with 3 candidates, and claiming the seat by a significant margin is Danny O'Halloran with over 1,000 votes.
Moving up to Old Town now, citizens there voted to fill 3 seats on the City Council in Old Town. Councilors Linda McLeod, Stanley Peterson, and David White will maintain their seats there in Old Town. More than 1,000 votes for Peterson, more than 1,000 for David White, and more than 1,100 votes for Linda McLeod, while newcomer Zachary Wiles falls short in his attempt to unseat one of them. He came in with 820 points yesterday.
Pretty close, though. He may run again. And now for the Belfast mayor. Incumbent Mayor Eric Sanders won re-election with more than double his competitors' votes, totaling 1,767. His challenger, Elvis Robbins, with 527.
Over to Dexter now, the town council race. In the race for Dexter Town Council, there were no incumbents running, a lot of new faces, but it was just a 2-vote difference that elected Elijah James over Aaron Main. Ames and Daniel Hutchins will now hold the seats on the town council there in Dexter.
For Ellsworth City Council, there were 2 seats open. Gene Lyons was the only running for re-election, but he was ousted considerably by Patrick Lyons with 1,159 votes and Nancy Smith with 911 votes. Up
in Lincoln now, it was a close race for the 2 seats available on the Lincoln Town Council. Gordon Street came in with the most votes at 561. Jared McCarthy came in second with 543, winning by only 8 votes over Eric Rojo. I don't know if they'd call for a recall in that kind of recount in that kind of situation or not. Sometimes the candidates will have to pay for the recount themselves unless it's really close. I think it's like 1 point whatever percent, and then the state will pay for the recount.
Interesting.
But pretty close.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
In the town of Penobscot, voters answered yes on the health care proposal. This is an interesting one, which asked if citizens should call on the Maine legislature to create a publicly funded health care plan that provides every Maine resident with comprehensive medical care. So 355 people voted yes, that citizens should call on the Maine legislature, more than double that the 172 that voted no. So more than double of who voted no voted yes.
That's an interesting one there. It's really just going to tell the legislature, they'll send a message there saying this is how they feel and you guys need to work on this and make it better. We had another couple of quick ones. This one coming in from Fairfield this morning where there was a town council race. There were 2 seats up for grabs there, 3-year term there, and it looks like Matthew Tully and Dwayne Bickford will be serving on the Fairfield Town Council. They beat out 2 other candidates for those 2 open seats there.
And we have a lot more. We skipped over a lot of these local races, so we have a lot more information up on foxbangor.com. If you go to our website, foxbangor.com, you go right to the top. There's this banner, Maine Decides. You click right on it. If you go to the website frequently, it's not something that you'd recognize, but you just go to that top big banner at the top of the page.
It'll open up the whole election section, and they've done a good job keeping those numbers updated. A lot of the results are unofficial until you get all the results back. That will happen over the course of today and tomorrow.
Yep.
But today we have a pretty good idea of how all the elections ended up.
Yes, sir. All right, the time now is 8:15. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, a Bangor man is back behind bars after being arrested for the 12th time this year. We'll have the details.
But first, another check of that weather forecast. A cloudy day ahead today, partly cloudy anyway. It will be windy too, with a high near 40 degrees. Partly cloudy and breezy overnight, with lows dropping down to a bone-chilling 26. Getting pretty chilly out there, Emma.
Chilly.
Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a chance of rain or snow, with a high near 38.
For great Toyota offers, including those not seen on TV, go to buyatoyota.com, Toyota's official website for deals. Now, you could type buyatoyota.com into your browser, or you could simply scan this QR code with your phone and immediately see offers, search inventory, and get a free independent trade-in value. See 3.99% financing on select Highlanders, which could save you up to $2,500. So scan the code and give your fingers a break. Toyota, let's go places.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
Looking for your dream home? Contact a Next Homie today and see what's available right now. Sellers, get ready to get looped and get sold. With Next Home Experience, we have your buyers.
Name a place you love being naked.
Does Steve sing her a song? Get super shy. Pull out flowers.
Can't you look at me?
No, ma'am. I don't want to make eye contact with you. Only reason I'm asking you this because it's on the card.
Steve, you would have asked me that in your younger days.
Family Feud, the only choice.
Weeknights at 7 on Fox 22.
Welcome back, everyone. A Bangor man is out on bail after being arrested for theft, drug possession, and other charges. It was the 12th time 41-year-old Kevin Gray has been arrested this year. According to Bangor police, shortly after 7 o'clock Friday night, police were dispatched to the Bangor TJ Maxx store by a ride service driver. That person said a man using his ride service told him that he planned to steal items from TJ Maxx, that he had warrants out for his arrest, and that he also had drugs on him, which he then showed the driver. Well, officers say Gray tried to make a run for it when he came outside, but he was quickly arrested. He was taken to the Penobscot County Jail, charged with theft, refusal to submit to arrest, drug possession, and violation of conditions of release. He currently has 7 sets of pre-conviction bail conditions prohibiting him from returning to various local businesses around Bangor due to theft charges at those stores. He did make bail again on Saturday and is free once again.
One person is dead following a home fire in Carroll Plantation. According to the Department of Public Safety, a caller reported the fire at 1821 Main Road around 5:40 Monday morning. Authorities responded to find a small residence already destroyed by the flames. They discovered human remains, which are believed to be the homeowner, 57-year-old Jeffrey Macy, who lived alone. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner will officially identify the remains. The Fire Marshal's office is investigating what caused the fire to start.
Well, a separate fatal fire killed one person and injured another. This one early in the morning in Windsor. The Augusta Communications Center received a call about a fire on the Ridge Road a little after 12:30 yesterday morning. Maine State Police say when firefighters arrived, they found 25-year-old Payson Biles dead inside a camper trailer on the property. A second person escaped with minor injuries. Investigators from the State Fire Marshal's office are now processing the scene, trying to find a cause. A spokesperson says there are no indications of foul play in there. They still don't know what caused the fire, though.
Yeah, I know. It's that time of year where people start kicking on their heat,
Yeah.
maybe trying to find alternative ways to keep their homes warm. So it's definitely important to be cognizant of these things.
Hopefully we don't see any more.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, the time now is 8:20. After the break, people pushing for a ban against flavored tobacco were among those at the polls yesterday. We'll hear about their effort to make the ban a reality.
And we'll also have a look at some of the big national races from the election, where abortion was a big factor. We'll explain as Good Morning Maine continues.
Comfy, cozy, relaxing. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find rockers, recliners, sofas, and easy chairs. Quality furniture, affordable prices. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
Maine, the wait is over. DraftKings Sportsbook is officially live. That means betting legally on same-game parlays, spreads, money lines, props, and more. Anytime and anywhere across the state. So get hyped, Maine. Download the app today and get this exclusive offer now. Life's more fun when you're in on the action. The crown is yours.
Choosing Miracle Ear was a great decision. Like when I decided to host family movie nights. Miracle Ear made it easy. I just booked an appointment and a certified hearing care professional evaluated my hearing loss and helped me find the right device calibrated to my unique hearing needs. Now I enjoy every moment. The quiet ones and the loud ones.
Make a sound decision. Call now and book your free hearing evaluation.
I'll go naked.
I bet you will. The fun in a game of words.
Flip-flop, cougar, Little Caesars.
Ah, sounds like a Tuesday for me.
Is choosing wisely.
I hope they know what it is, because we gotta take it. Want to try to win this thing, so I'll take Noogie.
25 words or less.
Knuckle head rub.
Noogie, you won the game, guys.
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 22.
Durable, sturdy, stylish. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find solid wood, built to last, made in Maine dressers, bureaus, and nightstands. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
It's not uncommon to see groups gathering signatures at polling stations, but one group was found from York all the way to Aroostook County, petitioning for their cause. Flavors Hook Kids is an organization working to end the sale of flavored tobacco in the state of Maine. The group is gathering signatures throughout the state to show legislators the depth of support behind their cause.
We've seen polling that shows nearly 2/3 of voters consistently support this, and that crosses party lines, it crosses demographics, it crosses all regions of Maine. It's pretty consistent, and so collecting these signatures kind of puts a name along with those numbers to show legislators, yeah, this is real, this is supported by a wide swath of Mainers, and we hope you pass it.
A bill that would end the sale of flavored tobacco and tobacco products here in the state has been passed by the Senate and is awaiting a vote from the House. And of course, a lot of folks around here know that it's been passed in places like Bangor.
Yeah. So this effort yesterday will send a strong message to the House as they consider that legislation.
Yep, seems like it.
Yeah.
All right, the time now is 8:23.
Let's get a full look at our weather forecast.
Alrighty, happy Thursday. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Comfort Shoes. Need the proper fit for your new winter footwear? Visit us across from Irving and Newport. Alrighty, let's get into things this morning. Plenty of advisories to keep an eye on, though. This is a wind advisory across the northern parts of the state, lasting until about 5 p.m. this evening because of gusty winds that will be expected today, up to 40 miles per hour at times. A gale warning remains in effect until 7 p.m. this evening as well. It was extended because the wave ice will continue to remain active throughout the daytime period today. And also some areas under a small crowd advisory that will also expire at around 7 p.m. later on this evening as well. So otherwise, wave heights, they're really active out there. Look at the ocean right now. Mainly at around 3 to 8 feet is where the buoys are currently reading right now. Will remain active for most of today. We'll start to calm things down just a bit at around 7 p.m. tonight. The radar and satellite starting to quiet down a bit. Maybe a few flurries in the eastern parts of the state this morning, and especially outside of the country. This is as that area low pressure. It's farther off towards the north and east. So there it is right about in there. It's going to be drag it off towards the east, and with high pressure not too far away, the tight pressure gradient is why we're dealing with the winds this morning. But thankfully, we will be dry today, though, as a lot of the precipitation will be clearing out of here. We will just have the clouds for today as we move forward. A few breaks in those clouds from time to time as well. We'll watch for more clouds approaching as we head towards early Thursday morning ahead of our next system. Between 8 and 10 o'clock, some rain and snow chances will exist. Mainly as snow, but a little bit of rain can mix in from time to time as well. Those will start to back off later on Thursday evening, though, as it tracks off towards the north and east. A little bit of rain cannot be ruled out either. Maybe a few more snow showers possible early Friday morning. How much snow? Not a whole lot right now. Thinking mainly less than an inch, though, for the areas highlighted here in this light blue right about in here. I think Bangor may get a little bit of snow as well. Further off towards the north, 1 to 2 inches cannot be ruled out. Locally, up to 3 inches cannot be ruled out in a few spots either. And of course, the big story, the wind as we move forward as well. Winds up to 30, even 40 miles per hour possible today, but it starts to back off a little bit later on tonight, especially into the daytime tomorrow. The winds will finally begin to improve in many areas. So that forecast coming up for today, the lower 40s, partly cloudy and windy out there. With that northwest wind gusting up to around 40 miles per hour at times. Later on tonight, middle 20s on the way, partly cloudy and breezy. With that northwest wind gusting up to around 25 miles per hour at times. Upper 30s for tomorrow, mostly cloudy, rain and snow on the way. With that north breeze only at about 5 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Comfort Shoes. Will be partly cloudy on Friday with highs in the upper 40s. Lower 40s on Veterans Day with a partly cloudy sky. And mostly sunny on Sunday, highs in the lower 40s.
Making contributions to a 529, no matter how big or how small, keeps the conversation going for a family.
Some sort of training beyond high school is needed. Having some money put away, that's kind of our goal.
And it helps your child think about what they want to do with their future and know that they have some financial support, but also your support as a parent to pursue their dreams.
To learn more about NextGen 529, its investment objectives, risks, and costs, read the program description at nextgenforme.com. Check if your home state has a 529 plan that offers tax or other benefits.
Brandywine Graphics makes it easy. We are the top source for screen printing, embroidery, branded merchandise, and direct-to-garment printing. With 25 years experience, state-of-the-art equipment, and a commitment to excellence, why trust your apparel products with anyone else? And now, Brandywine Graphics can easily launch online stores for your school or organization. Simply design your products from brands like Eddie Bauer, Carhartt, and more. Share the link and we'll do the rest. Like we said, Brandywine Graphics makes it easy. Find out more at brandywinegraphics.com or at our Hamden location.
Who likes to drink good coffee? At Carabassa Coffee Company, we roast premium quality coffee beans from all over the world. Roasted to perfection in small batches, our coffee is always fresh. We offer large selection, including our specialty blends, organics, single origins, decaf, and flavor. Whether you like light, medium, or dark roasts, we have coffee to suit every taste. We offer flat rate shipping for online orders, and we ship fast. Carabassa Coffee Company. Drink good coffee.
November 8th will have you. 4 new costumes get the wildest guesses yet.
Tom Jones.
John Cougar Mellencamp.
Mariah Carey.
I would know my baby mama.
Be more specific.
All new Masked Singer. Then.
Is it real?
The world's first drinkable tan.
No.
Or is it snake oil?
The revolutionary new toilet tank sink.
You don't do that.
All new snake oil after an all new Masked Singer. November 8th on Fox.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, of course, Maine was not alone yesterday. Election Day held all around the nation with some big races, some interesting races up for grabs.
Devin Dagnall has the latest.
Thanks, Emma and Craig. We began with Democrats scoring big at the polls, driven by the battle over abortion rights. Democrats in Virginia took control of both houses of the legislature, and voters in Ohio overwhelmingly backed a constitutional amendment on abortion rights. Liz Landers is in Washington, D.C. with a takeaway on the biggest races of the night.
Voters in at least 37 states took to the polls for Election Day Tuesday. And the big takeaway, abortion access remains a top issue for voters, with Ohio enshrining abortion protections in the state constitution. The state becoming the 7th to protect abortion access through the ballot box since the Supreme Court struck down Roe v. Wade in 2022.
And a unifying theme around abortion rights and the way that voters are reacting to it and responding to it that continues to reflect badly on the Republican Party.
and doctors in that state sighing in collective relief.
Doctors will now be able to provide abortion care, contraception care, miscarriage managed, in vitro fertilization, all of that, because now it's in our Constitution.
Another state where abortion access played a factor, Virginia, where Democrats won control of both legislative chambers, flipping the House of Delegates and maintaining control of the state Senate.
Hold the House, flip the Senate.
The results were a rebuke to GOP Governor Glenn Youngkin, who campaigned heavily for Republicans who promised to pass a 15-week abortion ban with exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. In solidly Republican Kentucky, Democratic Governor Andy Beshear won re-election while attacking his state's no exemptions abortion ban as extreme. The lone bright spot for Republicans?
This victory sure is sweet.
In the Deep South, Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves clinched re-election, beating out Elvis Presley's second cousin.
We all now know what it means in a state like Mississippi when you stand up to the national liberals.
And there were a few firsts in Tuesday night's elections. Philadelphia has elected their first female mayor, and the Virginia House of Delegates has elected their first ever black speaker. In Washington, Liz Landers, ABC News.
In other news, the House formally rebuking Representative Rashid Tlaib over her remarks on the Israel-Hamas war. Fox News correspondent Matt Finn has more on the vote to censure.
On this vote, the yeas are 234 and the nays are 188.
The House of Representatives voting to censure the only Palestinian American in Congress, Rashida Tlaib. 22 Democrats joined the Republicans in favor, while 4 Republicans crossed the aisle to join the Democrats in voting against it. 4 members voted present. Congresswoman Tlaib becomes the 26th member censured in House history. The Michigan Congresswoman has been fiercely criticized for defending an anti-Israel chant and spreading misinformation on the Israel-Hamas war. GOP lawmakers pushed to discipline Congresswoman Tlaib, saying she must be held accountable for her controversial comments.
For simply firmly and formally disagreeing with her and chastising her for her words and her actions.
The vote followed a fiery and emotional debate on the House floor on Tuesday.
When she chants from the river to the sea, she believes it. She believes Israel should be eradicated. Because otherwise you would never, ever repeat that vile, vile statement.
She does not want to kill Jews. She is not in support of Hamas.
While some Democrats came to Tlaib's defense, others see voting against punishing her as voting against Israel. In Congress, censures hold no actual reprimands. Instead, they're more of a symbolic mark of disapproval on a lawmaker. Matt Finn, Fox News.
All right, that's all from Capitol Hill. Back to you, Emma and Craig.
Thanks, Devin. Coming up on the second half of the newscast, a big change for one of your favorite animated families. We'll hear what's new for The Simpsons.
We'll also hear about an upcoming cheese festival as Good Morning Maine continues. Cider festival, too.
Cider and
cheese. We'll tell you all about it when we come back.
Silver Fox Automotive is a family-owned and operated company with more than 30 years of experience. We are originally from the county and offer competitive prices and promise you will be completely satisfied with our work. We offer a stress-free experience to both our new and returning customers. We only use parts from reputable brands to ensure your vehicle is safe to drive. Here at Silver Fox, there will always be a friendly face to greet you. Come see us at 2004 Audlin Road in Herman. This Veterans Day, join Fox ABC Maine as we salute and honor our veterans. Are you an active, inactive, or retired member of the armed services? Do you know someone who is? Then upload your photos on foxbangor.com/Maine Heroes. We will randomly select multiple veterans to win a gift voucher from Chick-fil-A. Locally sponsored by Blind Faith Tattoo, Saliba's Rug Cleaners, Silver Fox Automotive, and Winterport Sheds.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Today is Wednesday, November 8th, 2023. And other than being the day after Election Day, today's also National Cappuccino Day.
Nothing like a nice cappuccino on a cold day.
I love them.
So good.
Yep.
Favorite caffeinated beverage of many around the world, this hot drink consists of a double shot of espresso, perfectly steamed milk, and foam. It's perfectly amazing, but not an easy drink to master. Great way to start the day, though, or to wind down after dinner with a rich dessert.
You can tell I was very caffeinated when I was writing this up. It's perfectly amazing.
It's beautiful.
That's the descriptor of somebody who's overly caffeinated.
I saw something recently in Italy. They only have it in the morning, though. It's like a morning drink.
Okay.
It's kind of, you're not supposed to do it later on in the
I
day.
didn't know that, yeah.
But hey, we like coffee whenever.
Yeah,
over
maybe
here
just
in America.
espresso later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, I do kind of want one of those fancy frothers and an espresso machine. It's like $500 for those joint ones.
You can get the cheap one, though. It has a little handle on
just
the
a
side.
handheld, yeah. But if I'm
going to
get the milk frother, then I also want the thing that makes espresso.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess I'll put that on the back burner for this part
Christmas
of my life.
is coming.
I know.
You know?
I mean, yeah.
All right.
Okay. If Santa's listening, I want a Breville espresso machine.
Specific.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, for a bit of history now. On this day in 1731 in Philadelphia, Benjamin Franklin opened the first library in the North American colonies, the Library Company of Philadelphia, and it's still open to this day. All sorts of archives there right now. In 1789, we witnessed the first bourbon whiskey distilled from corn by Elijah Craig in Bourbon, Kentucky. I think it's kind of funny now because Elijah Craig is kind of like a mid or a lower shelf bourbon now, I believe. I like some bourbons.
One of the originals, though.
Right.
Yeah.
It's one of the OGs, but yet it's not super like high quality now. They make special batches, but yeah.
I'm pro bourbon myself. It's good
nice.
stuff.
A firm stance here on the morning show.
In 1837, the first U.S. college just for women was formed, then called the Mount Holyoke Female Seminary in South Hadley, Massachusetts. It is now called Mount Holyoke College, and they now identify as a college for women that is gender diverse, accepting applications from female, transgender, and non-binary students as well. And in 1933, U.S. President FDR created the Civil Works Administration. And finally, in 1960, Democratic politician John F. Kennedy was narrowly elected as President of the United States. The stunning, handsome young man from Massachusetts.
I always forget that it was a narrow election.
Yeah.
For birthdays today, we have British chef and reality TV personality Gordon Ramsay. He's 57 today. I love that man. He's funny, and he's really,
He annoys me.
He annoys you?
Yeah, I'm one of those. So.
Yeah,
I just think
get
he's
it.
mean to people, and it just makes me.
I used to not like him, but then I realized that is a personality.
I know.
He's
I know.
putting it on, you know?
He plays a jerk,
right.
basically.
Right. Yeah. I think he's actually really nice in person. He's a chef. These chefs have these personalities sometimes.
I do like food.
Yep. Good point. Okay. We've reached a compromise here. Alfre Woodard, known for portraying strong-willed and dignified roles, is 71 today.
She's awesome.
She is amazing. Yeah, those roles, we're not kidding about the roles that she plays. They're amazing. And American rapper, singer, and songwriter SZA is 34 today. I love her as well. She makes great music.
Okay, we're eating up a lot of time, so let's send it right over to Devin now for a look at our weather forecast.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Wednesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Comfort Shoes. Need the proper fit for your new winter footwear? Visit us across from Irving in Newport. Alright, let's get into things this morning. And again, we have some advisories posted. A wind advisory posted across the northern parts of the state lasting until about 5 p.m. this evening. The gale warning has also been extended until 7 p.m. this evening as well. So winds continue to howl and make the ocean very active in some spots. There's a few areas also under a small craft advisory that will also expire at around 7 o'clock or so later on tonight. So let's take a look at the radar here. So a lot of the precipitation has backed off. There's a few flurries possibly on the eastern edge of Maine, possibly outside of the country as well. We'll continue to see this pushing out of here. We'll stay dry today, though, although the winds will continue to howl from time to time. That'll be the big story, though, with this area low pressure located right about in here that continues to track off towards the east, and it's a strong one, bringing that wind in across the region. So future cast for today, a partly cloudy sky will be common from time to time. We'll catch a little bit of of a break from the clouds, though, until about Thursday morning before more clouds start to approach from the west ahead of our next system. But of course, winds will be out of the northwest at times today, reaching up to 15 to 20 miles per hour sustained. Gusts up to 40 miles per hour are possible, but notice later on today, and especially in the parts of tomorrow, though, the winds will really begin to relax. So your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, a mixture of clouds and sunshine, temperatures in the 30s and 40s. Also windy out there. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Well, Homer Simpson might be looking for new ways to reprimand his son, other than choking. After 35 seasons of The Simpsons, a running joke of Homer strangling Bart appears to be coming to an end. Viewers have watched Homer grip Bart's neck in punishment when Bart misbehaves, but in a recent episode, Homer says he no longer strangles his son because, quote, times have changed. Some fans took to social media after the episode's airing, saying the change took too long to come. And I want to hear about the other fans who are pro
choking
Homer assaulting his son.
Yeah. I have nothing to say.
I love The Simpsons.
Yeah.
It's only on like Disney Plus now, though.
Oh, is it?
And of course it airs on Fox still.
Yeah.
Our station. But
all right.
Yeah.
Still going strong 35 years later.
Yes.
No choking, though.
No choking.
Yeah.
Okay, still to come here this morning, Ryan Sudol will have the latest with sports.
We'll also hear about a cider and cheese festival.
It's good stuff.
Looking forward to that. Don't go away.
As we age, we want to keep our independent spirit. As Mainers, we want to live life our way. That means enjoying everything life offers us here in Maine. It means making choices that can help you live your best life. Choices like your healthcare coverage and your healthcare team, so you can be prepared for almost anything. United Healthcare and Northern Light Health are working together in Maine to help keep you healthier, so you can live life to the fullest. If you're eligible for Medicare, you may be able to enroll in a United Healthcare Northern Light Health Medicare Advantage plan today. Take the step to make sure you have the coverage you need to help keep you active and thriving as you age. Call United Healthcare at 1-800-203-7205 or visit uhcnewengland.com.
My father started a roofing company in the 1970s.
Back when asbestos was still commonly used in Maine.
When George was diagnosed with mesothelioma, we knew there wasn't a cure yet, but we knew he needed help.
We called Joe Bornstein's office because this family means business.
Their team is handling everything, representing Mainers who were victims of asbestos exposure.
We highly recommend the law offices of Joe Bornstein.
Call Joe today for a free case evaluation. There's never a fee unless you win.
Maine, the wait is over. DraftKings Sportsbook is officially live. That means betting legally on same-game parlays, spreads, money lines, props, and more. Anytime and anywhere across the state. So get hyped, Maine. Download the app today and get this exclusive offer now. Life's more fun when you're in on the action. The crown is yours.
Two forces collide as 11th-ranked Penn State hosts 3rd-ranked Michigan. Big noon Saturday on Fox.
Hey everybody, Ryan Sudol here. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's start with some high school soccer regionals action. A North and D North finals going on Tuesday. Let's go to the hometown team Bangor first in girls A North. Top-seeded Rams going up against 2-seed Camden Hills on a beautiful night in Lewiston. Second half, no score. Bangor's Olivia Scott finding Tegan Atherley, who buries it, giving the Rams a 1-0 lead. Minutes later, the Rams would strike again. It's Atherley again. She's going to put in her second of the night, and it's 2-0 Bangor. Back comes Camden Hills, though. Leah Snyder's going to break in here and fire it home, bringing the Windjammers within one. But Bangor survives. They win Class A North 2-1. It's their first regional title since 2015.
Feels great. I'm thrilled. I'm happy that I could help my team. And yeah, I'm just excited for the next one.
Okay, now over to Pottle Field in Herman for the D North girls final. 2-seed PVHS against top seed Wisdom. Early first half, PVHS's Ellie Austin, the cross into Riley Moulton, and it's saved by Colleen Thampson on the point-blank rebound attempt. Later, Lila Cummings, another chance for the Howlers from long range and a leaping save by Thompson. Pioneers carry a 1-0 lead into the half. 2 minutes left in the game now. Tied at 1. Moulton getting the cross into Austin, and she chests it in to give the Howlers a 2-1 lead. But right after, Wisdom threatening. Lily Roy, a rocket to tie it, but Brooklyn Raymond, the freshman, with a huge save. PVHS survives 2-1, and they go back to states. Here's Austin on her game winner.
It felt amazing. I almost started crying. I don't think I've ever felt that type of excitement before. But even though we didn't start off strong at all, I knew that we would come through at the end.
Let's stay at Pottle Field for the D North boys final. 3 seed Fort Fairfield against top seed Easton. First half free kick for Easton's Owen Sweeney, and the Bears go up 1-0 off that absolute snipe from the senior. Minutes later, here comes Sweeney again. A bunch of speed. Takes it in himself and scores his second 2-0 Easton. Second half, Fort not going away. Ethan Willard sets up Micah Daigle in front, and he just sneaks it in to pull within 1. But Easton a chance to answer about 10 minutes later. Sweeney's corner kick is absolutely perfect as Zach Pelletier is right there for the header. It's 3-1. Easton goes on to win D North 3-2. It's their first state berth ever.
It's so great. It's just all team. All comes down to that, the teamwork throughout the game. It's just incredible. It's an incredible feeling.
Okay, let's go to some high school football news now. All the North Regional Finals and 8-man state final matchups are set for this Saturday, and we have the times and places for those games right here. Let's start at Cameron Stadium at 11 a.m., the 8-man large football state final. MDI meets Greeley, and then after that at 2:30, the 8-man small football final between Orono and Old Orchard Beach, a rematch from last year. Handon Academy at 11 a.m., the D North final between top seed Foxcroft Academy and 2 seed John Bapst. After that at 3 o'clock, C North final between number 1 Oceanside and number 2 Madomic Valley. And then at Winthrop High School at 1 p.m., the B North final between top seeded Lawrence and 3 seed Coney, and at 7 p.m., A North final between Portland and Oxford Hills at Fitzpatrick Stadium. Okay, let's go to some UMaine football now. The Black Bears dropping a heartbreaker on Senior Day Saturday against Hampton in what was yet another game of 2 halves. Black Bears starting out great, leading 28-14 at the half, but getting outscored 28-7 to end things off. Save for defensive woes, the game might have gone the other way had it not been for 2 costly turnovers in the fourth quarter with the game tied. Head coach Jordan Stevens says this is going to be one of the bigger focuses during their bye week and in their prep for UNH next week.
That level of discipline needs to be there. I thought we took a step forward in that regard last week during practice. So, we're playing, guys that, need to have a better awareness of the football, how important it is to take care of the football. And, we'll address those things this week and into the end of the season as well.
Okay, now let's go over to the Boston Bruins. After dropping their first regulation loss of the year Saturday against the Red Wings, Bees getting back on track Monday night with a 3-2 win at the Stars. Jeremy Swayman saving 35 of 37 shots en route to his 10th straight win and a first star. And rookies carried the weight on offense. Mason Laurie and Johnny Beecher each scoring their first NHL goals on the 4th line. After the game, head coach Jim Montgomery speaking on how it feels to have that line be so impactful and from experience on what that moment means to them.
They were connected. Every time there was a turnover or anything, there was 2 of them on it, and they ended up with possession. They ended up taking pucks from the D zone to the O zone, and obviously the 2 goals from your 4th line, that's huge. You dream your whole life of being able to score in the NHL and play in the NHL, and that goal is kind of like the ribbon being pulled off that you actually belong.
Okay, that's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Family owned and operating in the Bangor area for more than 10 years. Crosby's Welding is here to help you. We specialize in steel, stainless steel, and aluminum welding and fabrication. We serve many of the local industries from Maine lobstermen to the commercial trucking industry and everything in between. Fully mobile on-site construction services right down to custom signs and fire pits. Fast, friendly, reliable service. Give us a call today for a free estimate. 974-7815.
Behind every keepsake, there's a memory. Behind every photo, there's a story. Behind Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration, there's people giving back by bringing back what was thought to be lost. The details, the time, and the expertise, all packaged up behind a name that Mainers have trusted for over 35 years. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. You keep the memories. We'll handle the rest.
There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the Hyundai you've always wanted. Plus America's best warranty and up to 3 years complimentary maintenance. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now's the time to get in and get away.
Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or $2,500 bonus cash on the Tucson. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm here with Cara Romano. She's the executive director of Heart of Ellsworth, and she's here to talk about the cideries, or excuse me, the 6th annual Downey Cider and Cheese Festival. Cara, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So when does it start?
So the Downey Cider and Cheese Festival starts tomorrow evening. We're kicking the festivities off this year at the Grand Theater.
Cool.
We've partnered with WERU to bring in a concert.
Wow.
Some folks that's free to the public.
Nice.
And it's a concert of sort of world music, I would say, a band out of Portland called Bondeco.
Cool.
So we're very excited to be at the Grand again this season to kick off first ever concert to kick off Cider and Cheese.
So what does it look like inside the Grand? I mean, obviously kind of continuous music in the theater itself, maybe any refreshments out in the lobby?
Yeah, there'll be refreshments.
Cool.
There is definitely cider on the menu.
Cool.
And of course the Grand's, wonderful popcorn that they're known for locally. So yeah, we'll have that concert. We'll kick things off, and then Friday we have 2 events happening at the library, the Ellsworth Public Library. We have a cheese making demo.
Oh wow!
During the day, yeah.
Do you have to sign up in advance for that?
It is, yeah. It's limited just because the space is limited and one instructor. So
right.
Yeah. So the space is limited, and I do believe as of last night there were still a couple of spots. But again, it's a free and open thing.
Lovely.
You just need to sign up.
Yep.
And then that evening we do our free talk this year. It's the DNA history of weird apples. So our festival founder, Todd Little-Siebold, a professor at College of the Atlantic and Ellsworth resident, helped us found the festival 6 years ago. And so he and John Bunker will be talking all about apples and DNA and some research about apples all over the world.
Cool. Maybe what's best for cider making or what's preferable.
Yep, what's preferable for cider making, and sort of, how the apple industry and the apple trees here and in this country connect to apples all over the world.
Fascinating.
So it's a pretty cool concept this year that is about the free talk, and I think it's definitely worthwhile. That starts at 6 o'clock, and we hope people come. And then Saturday is the big day. We start off with cider pressing at Fogtown Brewing Company.
Nice.
And then we have our tasting and market with 2 turns. The 5 o'clock turn is already sold out.
Okay.
But 7 o'clock, there are still tickets remaining. So hopefully people will be sold out before the event happens.
Cool. So during all this other stuff, do you know, will cider be for sale? And it's probably not open container. The whole the downtown Ellsworth is not.
We're not an open container city. Yes.
Right.
Indeed.
Right. But you have to go to maybe Fogtown or maybe the Airline Brewing. What else downtown would have cider?
So we also have a bunch of businesses that are participating this year doing raffles, sales. A couple of the bakeries are doing some nice baked goods that are going to include apples and cheese, and some of the restaurants that evening are going to have specials that will really be sort of highlighting fall ingredients, apples, cheese, and of course cider on their menu.
So they'll probably have signs out front, come in here for this part of the festival and come join us. This is our contribution.
Yeah, and if people are looking specifically for the downtown businesses that are sort of partaking, all of those things are on our social media, both our Instagram and our Facebook.
It is a great website. You guys have done really well there. Cool.
We have some really great help with that. So,
yeah.
Yeah. And then Sunday there's an after party in the afternoon at Fogtown at 4 o'clock, and so we'll sort of commence the weekend there at Fogtown. But
the after party's sometimes my favorite part.
Yeah.
You could it's for a debrief session with everybody.
Yeah, and everybody's still excited, and you know, who knows, there might be some cheese left. There's definitely going to be some cider. I don't think that Fogtown will run out of cider. So.
Right. Cool. Cans, some takeaways?
Yep, cans and bottles, as well as during the festival market. This is kind of one of the most wonderful things. Not only do you get to hear from all of the individual purveyors, they'll be there on site, the cheesemakers as well as the cideries, but you can purchase direct from them. So if you had a nibble of cheese that you liked, you know, you can buy more from the purveyor right there and learn their story, their inspiration, all those sorts of things.
Perfect. Just like a market.
Yep.
Best of both worlds. Okay, it looks like we're about out of time, Car. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Of course, we'll send it over to Devin Biggs for our full weather forecast.
Alrighty, happy Thursday. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Comfort Shoes. Need the proper fit for your new winter footwear? Visit us across from Irving and Newport. Alrighty, let's get into things this morning. Plenty of advisories to keep an eye on, though. This is a wind advisory across the northern parts of the state, lasting until about 5 p.m. this evening because of gusty winds that will be expected today, up to 40 miles per hour at times. A gale warning remains in effect until 7 p.m. this evening as well. It was extended because the wave heights will continue to remain active throughout the daytime period today. And also some areas under a small crab advisory that will also expire at around 7 p.m. later on this evening as well. So otherwise, wave heights are really active out there. Look at the ocean right now, mainly at around 3 to 8 feet is where the buoys are currently reading right now. Will remain active for most of today. We'll start to calm things down just a bit at around 7 p.m. tonight. The radar and satellite starting to quiet down a bit, maybe a few flurries in the eastern parts of the state this morning, and especially outside of the country. This is as that area low pressure is farther off towards the north and east. So there it is right about in there. It's going to be tracking off towards east, and with high pressure not too far away, the tight pressure gradient is why we're dealing with the winds this morning. But thankfully, we will be dry today, though, as a lot of the precipitation will be clearing out of here. We will just have the clouds for today as we move forward. A few breaks in those clouds from time to time as well. We'll watch for more clouds approaching as we head towards early Thursday morning ahead of our next system. Between 8 and 10 o'clock, some rain and snow chances will exist, mainly as snow, but a little bit of rain can mix in from time to time as well. Those will start to back off later on Thursday evening, though, as it tracks off towards the north and east. A little bit of rain cannot be ruled out either. Maybe a few more snow showers possible early Friday morning. How much snow? Not a whole lot right now. Thinking mainly less than an inch, though, for the areas highlighted here in this light blue right about in here. I think Bangor may get a little bit of snow as well. Further off towards the north, 1 to 2 inches cannot be ruled out. Locally, up to 3 inches cannot be ruled out in a few spots either. And of course, the big story, the wind as we move forward as well. Winds up to 30, even 40 miles per hour possible today, but it starts to back off a little bit later on tonight, and especially into the daytime tomorrow. The winds will finally begin to improve in many areas. So that forecast coming up for today, the lower 40s, partly cloudy and windy out there. That northwest wind gusting up to around 40 miles per hour at times. Later on tonight, middle 20s on the way, partly cloudy and breezy. The northwest wind gusting up to around 25 miles per hour at times. Upper 30s for tomorrow, mostly cloudy, rain and snow on the way. The north breeze only at about 5 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Comfort Shoes. Will be partly cloudy on Friday with highs in the upper 40s. Lower 40s on Veterans Day with a partly cloudy sky, and mostly sunny on Sunday, highs in the lower 40s.
Sample and savor the very best in all we produce here in Maine at the Maine Harvest Festival, Cross Insurance Center, Bangor, November 18th and 19th. Presented by the Maine Potato Board, MaineHarvestFestival.com.
Orono is more than just a college town. It's an affordable destination. Welcome to the Orono Arcade, where we have both modern and retro games. And for a new experience, check out our 9-hole blacklight mini golf course. Budget-friendly, fun for the whole family, with 13 restaurants within walking distance. We look forward to seeing you soon at the Orono Arcade.
This Veterans Day, join Fox ABC Maine as we salute and honor our veterans. Are you an active, inactive, or retired member of the armed services? Do you know someone who is? Then upload your photos on foxbangor.com/Maine Heroes. We will randomly select multiple veterans to win a gift voucher from Chick-fil-A. Locally sponsored by Bell's Automotive Protection, Healing Hands Massage, Loring Job Corps, and TB Equipment and Rental.
Went in, signed the papers, and within a week or so they called me to report.
And we landed on the same beach that the invasion started.
The airplane crashed just short of the runway and killed all 24 people.
Pearl Harbor was bombed. We all manned our battle stations.
I'm the only World War II veteran left in town.
Our Heroes, Their Own Words, Friday at 7 on Fox 22.
Celebrate Maine artisans, sampling and shopping the very best of Maine products at the Maine Harvest Festival, Cross Insurance Center, Bangor, November 18th and 19th. Presented by the Maine Potato Board, MaineHarvestFestival.com.
Looks like we're about out of time for now. If you missed anything, there's all sorts of election recap stuff on foxbangor.com.
We'll keep updating throughout the day, and we'll have all the latest tonight. Thank you for joining us, folks.
Have a